I see you calling, negotiating. My desk is the closest desk to your desk because I want to hear you working every day. And
Crazy stories.
and that energy transfers to me, and that's how I talk to other agents, my clients, and I have seen a big difference.
So we wanted to come on and have a show about how agents are interacting and learning and growing here at Parrot Realty, just to give some stories of, where these great agents are coming from, a little history here. So I brought on Gonzalo Vargas. He's an energetic, young, really exceptionally well agent here in our business locally here in South Florida.
Thank you.
And I have a great history with him. So I wanted to have him be one of our first agents that joined. So Gonzalo, thank you for coming on. Thank you for being a Parrot Realty agent here. And I wanted to get a little bit of a history, tell me a little about yourself, your real estate journey and how it led to Parrot Realty.
No, of course. So I've been doing real estate for almost 9 years. A few years ago, actually, we did a deal together. It was like 3 or 4 years ago. I had a buyer and you had a seller. I remember I submitted this crazy offer and I didn't get a response. And I was like, I have to talk to Michael. And you did mention that you had other offers. So I knew I had to act fast. And I remember that you were having a broker's open in Parkland. And I showed up. I showed up in person with my offer. And I said, Michael, I emailed you this offer and I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
And I remember you telling me, well, this is wrong with the offer and this could change and things like that. And I was very impressed that how you were so fast about the offer. You told me this and that, go fix it. And I remember going back to my office, fixing it, re-emailing it to you. And that was our deal together. And then after that, I kept doing real estate. And when I saw that you opened your own brokerage, I looked up your numbers and I was like, wow, Michael, he's killing it. He's number one in Parkland, doing a lot of deals. And we started talking and here I am.
Yeah, now you mentioned when we first had that deal and look, that deal, I remember you came there, you caught me by surprise with that broker open. And these are the kind of stories that we want to talk about because this is what makes, real estate fun and interesting. And it changed our whole lives because that deal was a big deal for a really luxury house in Heron Bay, I remember. And your buyer had like 3 or 4 contingencies. And I remember shaking the paper and saying, is another contingency going to fall out of this agreement? And I told you, this is what you need to do. This is what the buyer needs to get done. And if they get their house sold, then they have one contingency instead of the buyer. But I noticed something in you, and then it caught my attention to follow what you were doing in real estate. And I just see how your personality, how your likability, how your clients really love you and other agents love you, and that you're just a really motivated agent and you're young and you're doing the things that agents don't want to do, such as cold call, door knock, get in front of people. And I that's really what I was about as a younger agent and we're still doing. And I thought that I could be able to elevate you into being the best agent you can be through working at our company. So that was how we met. When you first were called to interview here, what was that like? And then talk about the first days, weeks here at Parrot. You haven't been here that long, but give us some of that insight.
Of course. So before we met, I did my research on your numbers. And I remember when we met, I said, you know what? Let me just go and talk to Michael. Let me see what he's up to, what he's doing. I remember that we sat down with, it was you, marketing department, your manager for the office, and you had my numbers for the last 3 years. You knew everything that I sold. You told me in what community I was doing the most business. And I was really impressed how prepared you were, that you knew everything that I have been doing for the last 3 years. Being in real estate for almost 9 years, I knew what activities had to be done. And there were weeks that I would push really hard and then I would take a break or get busy with a client. And when I got here, I realized that here at Parrot Realty, you never take your foot off the pedal. You're pressing it all the way down and it's nonstop. I see you grinding every day, pushing hard, negotiating deals. And that's what I was looking for. I was looking to be next to someone that is winning every single day, that is pushing hard every day, that doesn't take breaks. You're not like a mentor that would tell me what to do, but I don't see you do anything. I see you calling, negotiating. My desk is the closest desk to your desk because I want to hear you working every day. And
Crazy stories
and,
of
and
that.
that energy transfers to me, and that's how I talk to other agents, my clients, and I have seen a big difference.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I see that it has transcended into you. Really being able to implement this into your own business. So we have our one-on-one coachings. It's with the marketing director, with our operations director, and myself. And tell us a little bit about that experience, because when we opened Parrot Realty, the idea was I didn't want to make this like a conventional brokerage where, yes, you're getting some coaching and you're getting some advice and you're taking some trainings, but I really wanted to give it where from all three facets of real estate that you're going to have somebody that is on top of you, that's going to go over these things and hold you accountable to the highest standards possible for each one of your goals set.
Definitely. So every Friday, now I'm getting more used to it and I understand the process. There's a beginning, I was like, oh my God, it's Friday again. It's Friday again because you guys go so deep into my business. Gonzalo did your online leads. You called this many, but it would have been better if you would have called everyone, or my social media. You're posting, but here is how you can improve in your videos and your description. That attention to detail, and also meeting with you, going over my farm, going over my past clients, the extra push, and we meet every week. So you told me last week, you told me you were going to do this. Did you do it? Yes, great. You didn't do it. Why didn't you do it? I almost feel like I'm an athlete. I'm an athlete in real estate, and I have a big team behind me that really I cannot take a break, because if I take a break, they're telling me, Gonzalo, like, remember the last Friday you told me you were doing this week. And that's what I really like. I really like the extra push, and it's not just people telling me what to do, it's they're also doing it with me.
Yeah, I mean, we're looking here at Parrot Realty, and that's why I think you're already killing it, just through the little bit of time you've been here. But we're trying to make an agent a complete agent. And look, there's a lot of brokerages where they're just trying to give you leads. They just want to keep you going, and they really don't want you to become the most successful individual agent. And I really said to myself when I sat down and we opened this company, I sat down with Rebecca and Eitan, and I said, we need to make this about what I've accomplished and have these agents on different levels that they can grow into their maximum capacity of being their own successful individual agent, meaning they have their own farm. They're creating their own past client business. And yes, we're giving our leads that we're generating through our own company, through the open house leads, or, I'm not taking buyers out anymore. And we're giving a plethora of leads to agents. But I really want them to come with their own individual leads. And that's what you've really learned, and I've seen in it, that you're implementing these strategies, what you were farming before you came here. You were doing your past clients, but you weren't doing them at an effective level to really look at them as your bread and butter in business. Mm-hmm. So your farm is your past clients. And we had a lot of discussions about who are you going to farm? And you kept telling me, oh, well, this community, this community. I'm like, well, your first farm is your past clients.
Exactly.
So tell a little bit about that and where you are with your past clients and your farm, and how Parrot Realty has helped you get to a level where you're going to be able to capture that farm and take the market share and grow into other market shares.
Of course. So since I started, I've been in touch with my past clients at least once a month. After 8 years, I'm having my first real estate event where I'm inviting all my past clients to get together so they can meet each other and talk about their experience. And I can see them again one-on-one, say hello, eat something with them. I'm super excited about that. And it goes back to seeing you work, to seeing you do your events, talk to your clients, call your past clients, happy birthday, happy home anniversary. Little things that we forget, but it makes a big difference for the client.
Yeah. I think that where you have started, it was amazing when you first came to our office. It was like you were there at the right moment, because we had taken a listing of Parkland Isles. It's a great example to understand how it is here at Parrot Road. It's very fast moving. You have to be ready and able and jump right in. And you did. I think it was the first or second day you came in. I said, I have a client that I'm listing their house in Parkland, and they need to go buy a property. And they're actually looking to buy 2 properties, one for an investment and one to live in. And can you take them? And you looked at me like, you got to be kidding me. Like, are you serious? The guy wants to buy a $600,000, $700,000 house times 2. I'm like, here he is. He's fully approved. go. I didn't have to say, hold your hand. I knew you were great. We talked a little about with the client. The client loved you. And since that time, you've closed 3 deals
with that one client.
with the one client. He bought one house for himself, and he closed on another for an investment, and he's under contract for another. So explain that experience and how that opportunity has led to you now becoming this go-to agent for this buyer/investor.
So that's the biggest thing when you join a team or switch brokerage. Is my business going to grow? Are they going to add value to me? Are they going, and everyone promises leads and the world and everything. And that was the biggest question that I had. I said, how long till I get a hot lead, someone that he wants to sell, he wants to buy? And, I wonder that, like, I would go to bed and saying, I hope I made the right decision.
Sure.
And, I was surprised. It was like you said, my first or my second day.
Yeah.
Hey, Gonzalo, here's a buyer. Go take it, make an offer. And I was like, oh, wow. I didn't know it was going to be this great.
Sure.
And that's exactly what it was. It was pre-approved. I called the lender, and the lender told me he can buy that one and 5 more.
Sure.
So definitely a great experience. And I'm thankful. I know that I made the right choice.
And I think what also marketing wise, like you were very successful. I was always seeing you post videos about you showing your clients your sphere of influence, even other agents. And that's what I hear about you, that you were just a go-getter, that you really, the proof was in the pudding, that you put in the time and effort, that you were hardworking, doing some of the old school to new school marketing. But when I see the transition of you actually taking what we do on a bigger level, maybe in some of these bigger listings, and you're taking it and putting it into your own marketing efforts on your own sphere and your own past clients, that's really what's transcended in this experience. So that's one thing. And, when we've given some of the in-house leads, you came in one day and said, hey, I got this great client. He has a home in Parkland and he wants to buy a place in this neighborhood of 55 plus. And, I got him. And I'm like, wow, okay, great. So what does he need to do? Is he going to buy before he sells? Well, I don't know if he can. So then we got him approved. And, all in all, the guy bought a house with us. He bought our listing for like $1.25 million. He sold our house where we got it under contract for over asking around $1 million. And then it was so great, he gave us his brother in a community in Parkland that we're going to go meet him this Friday and be able to get, his brother to sell his house. And that's 3. I mean, just imagine what else can unfold, just being here for a few months.
I didn't know I was going to be this busy right away. I thought it was going to be a period that I was going to learn new things, but you put me to work right away, and I'm learning as I'm going, which is great. And also my average price point, I think since the start it has doubled. I have to do less deals to make more money.
Sure.
But I'm not going to make less deals. I'm going to make more deals.
Correct.
And make even more money
at a higher level
to keep investing in my business and myself.
So also talk about it. Since you've been here, obviously you meet with me. We're looking at it. I'm more of the, this is what Eitan said about you. This is what Rebecca said about you in the numbers and the marketing. Go a little deeper when you're meeting with the marketing director, Eitan, and when you're meeting with Rebecca as our operations manager. Tell us how those meetings go. Because you're meeting me and them. I like to do it back to back so we make our notes. I can see in real time what they told you to do. But tell us the experience of what those meetings look like and how we all put it together on every Friday morning when you meet with us.
Okay. So with Rebecca is pretty much, she's asking me, what did you do last week? What were your activities? What do you have under contract? What have you listed? How many appointments did you go to? She has my online leads pulled up on the back end. She knows that I'm taking about 2 to 5 minutes to call a lead as soon as it hits our system. If I take longer, she's asking me, why are you taking longer? What's going on? How can we help you be faster? Do you want more alerts on your phone? Those little details and that conversation that I have, I may tell her, well, during this time, I'm working out or I'm with my family. And she goes, okay, then we can play. And she gives me ideas on when to follow up, how to follow up, or maybe what I'm doing now is as soon as the lead hits my system, they get a text from me. So I know at least they got one touch, and now I have a few minutes to call it, because if they're clicking on leads and on Google or any other website, it's our website and other websites. So sure. It's a race that I have to get to the lead first and connect.
Speed to lead.
Speed to lead, exactly. And then with Eitan, our marketing department is how's my social media? Am I posting enough? My description, how am I talking on my videos? Am I being more clear, speaking slower, be more direct, or instead of saying 100 words, do it in half of the words? Those little details that are making a big difference. And I go to family reunions or I go out to the mall, and people are telling me, Gonzalo, I love your videos. Gonzalo, you're doing great. They're seeing the difference.
That's definitely what I want people to hear, because people are asking me, how are you so different? I really believe our brokerage is, it's so different because we're actually doing that sort of one-on-one marketing, because we want the agents to have leads that we're providing. And look, we've given a lot of leads and we're going to continue to do that. You're doing rock star work with them, handling them so well that they don't skip a beat. Back to the idea of actually growing your own business. That's the unique thing, because I really believe your success is our success. And if you're able to pick up more business in your farm, if you're going to be able to speak better, do your videos better, write your email offers better, your counter offers better. This is the thing, that the one-on-one experience of really getting true coaching, and you're not paying for it. It's a part of the system. And that's what I think is the difference. And when I saw what you were already doing and some of the other agents we've hired, we're able to bring them into this atmosphere of who has in-house marketing, who has in-house operations, that it's coaching you one-on-one with the, whatever you call me, team leader, dream, leader, whatever, that capacity that's going to be able to sit down one-on-one with every single agent. As I'm taking a step back in this business, I can still service my clients to the best abilities because I have agents like you that can come in and lead them to the promised land. So what other things do you think an agent who's thinking about making a move, like you moved from a big company, you were highly successful, you had a lot of, and I appreciate you coming because it was a big move for you.
It was.
What do you think an agent should be thinking about when they're looking to make a move specifically to a brokerage like here?
So as we're talking right now, I thought about a quote, and I don't know how exactly it goes, but it's something like, you can give someone a fish so they can eat, or you can show them how to fish. And I feel like there's times that it's one or the other. Here I'm getting both. Here you're putting big pieces of fish on my table, and also you're showing me how to get those big fishes, how to farm my past clients, my communities, new communities, social media, and it's just like the best of both worlds. I'm getting these leads, sellers, buyers ready to buy, and they're not buying little properties. They're buying. Everything I'm getting is like 600 or million plus.
Sure.
And you're showing me how to get those myself. That's the biggest thing that I appreciate. A lot of people are worried about showing their skills or how they do the business. And here you guys are just an open book. The goal of Parrot Realty and talking to other agents, it's saying that here, Parrot Realty, it's focused on making you a great agent, making you a better agent. I feel like I was a good agent. Now I'm a great agent, and I'm on my way to being an excellent agent.
Yeah, I think a lot of agents are comfortable being uncomfortable. And I started off at a lot of different companies. I moved to a big brokerage like you worked at, and I worked there for 13 years. Never got a lead from the office. 13 years I was there. And you know what? I was comfortable being uncomfortable until, I really said, like, I want to elevate, and we want to grow a business where I can actually have agents join us. We had a small team. But look, we're at a brokerage right now where in a couple cities, we're doing more than the big brand names. And how are we doing that? We're doing it by an example of an agent that works for us like you. Exactly. So I appreciate your efforts. I know that we're never getting stagnant here. We're not stopping. Like I always say to you, it's not about how many active clients you have. It's not about how many closed sales. It's about how many pendings you have, because pendings mean you're most likely going to close them. So whenever we sit down, how many deals can you get on the board this day? How many calls can you make to get a client to sign a buyer brokerage agreement or get a listing? Because that's one more step closer to getting a pending sale. That's what doing this in all the facets, of your business. I saw that you did a lot of cold calling, and I said, look, you have to keep your bread and butter, but you also need to be able to go into farming more. You also need to be taking advantage of the open house leads. You also have to be hitting your past clients, because all of the marketing you do to market the listing, to market to buyers, to sellers, and yourself, that's really what the best advice that we're giving agents, and we're showing them in a structural format that they're able to get that business for themselves as well as business from Parrot Realty. So the goal for you is to make way more deals on your own business, and you're getting there. That's the goal for Parrot Realty agents, that they're going to work here for the long haul because the coaching is going to keep going. It doesn't get you, hey, our goal is here. When you know me, when you got one farm, I'm going to teach you how to get the second and third and fourth, so that you're going to be able to grow your own business, taking leads on. And we already talked about it. We're soon going to be at the point of hiring an assistant for you, and that's really awesome that you haven't worked here that long and you're already ready to, scared when you came here. Or am I going to get a lead? Is this going to really work out? Michael's this bold, crazy guy. And in the end, it's structured in a way that you're actually, able to take what you've learned and take it to your own business and thrive and be confident and successful. Where Gonzalo Vargas is, when, people are seeing you on the streets and not saying, oh, hey, you work with Michael, or hey, you work with Parrot Realty. They're saying, I see you, Gonzalo. That's the biggest achievement that makes me so proud of what we're doing here. And that what we can do for other agents is that we want to make them their own success, their own superstar. And that's what the whole idea of this is to take what we've learned, the success, the failures, and try to fast track people that come here to get them. This is how I farm. This is how I hit my past clients. And I know you're not going to do it with this budget, and you're not going to have that many clients. Way I've been doing this for 20 plus years, but you identify it, you've articulated it, you've digested it, and you're implementing it. And in another 3 to 6 months, you're going to be interviewing other people in your own podcast. That's the goal, because I'm going to keep pushing you. And
Thank you.
I only push people that I believe that are worth pushing. So agents that want to come here, be ready, because I'm not going to let you fail. I'm going to push you to success. Now, look, we can lead a horse to water, but we can't make it drink. But if you want to drink, I promise you the water will be flowing here. So I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you giving your story, and I will take you as far as you want to go here at Parrot Realty, and we can do that with every other agent that wants to join.
And I'm ready for that.
I'm excited. Thank you for being our guest on our show, and just look for bigger and better things for you in the coming weeks, months, and years.
Super excited.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Michael.